Hey everybody, Stephen Key here, and once again I'm bringing on two very special people that have done something pretty remarkable, okay? And first of all, thank you, Mike, for coming, and Rachel, thank you. Yeah, I got that right this time, all right. Thank you for coming on, because you've got a very, very interesting project that's really exploding at the moment. Because timing is really important in life, isn't it?
Yeah, big time.
Okay, and there's a lot of timing issues to this story that I want to talk about. But first of all, I want to show everybody what I received on a Saturday morning in the mail. It's called MicroPuzzles. And what was so crazy is that it's Saturday morning, and there's a box on the counter. My wife said, "Are you going to open that box?" And I said, yeah, and I'll get to it. And the phone rang. I had a conversation with somebody, and then I opened the box, and it had my name. I mean, you printed my name on the package. And not only was it done so, I mean, the presentation was everything, right? And then you had the 4 puzzles here with these. They're really teeny. They're cute. They're really kind of cute. And it shows what the puzzles are going to be at. And the packaging, everything was just perfect. So I saw it, and I called you because I saw something magical. So first of all, thank you. Okay.
Our pleasure.
Talk about this for just a minute. Then we'll tell more of the story. These are called MicroPuzzles. They're massive fun. What are they? They're just little pieces, right?
Exactly. They're basically a new spin on a traditional jigsaw puzzle. They're 150 pieces, 4 by 6, and we can change the art to kind of suit whatever people like. So we're trying to build out the portfolio and put fun images, but essentially it takes normal people, it takes about an hour and a half, maybe. It took me 2 hours, 5 minutes first time I did them. And not proud of that time, but that's what it did. And then what we're finding is they're fun because they're not overwhelming. You know, they're challenging but not overwhelming. So I think especially for the times we're in, it's a great fit.
Well, let's talk about the packaging for just a minute. Okay, number one, the size caught my attention because I've never seen them this small before, and I thought when I saw the packaging and I saw the test tube, we'll get to that in just a minute. I thought, wow, you could take these anywhere. You could be on an airplane and probably build it.
Right.
On vacation, put it in the backpack. I mean, you could take this anywhere. So simple. Is that what your thought when you reduced the size? How did you come up with this idea?
So I work for a company that does work for Universal and Disney. So we're in theme parks all the time. And one of the concepts, Rachel works for Disney too. And one of the concepts we learned is if you take an ordinary object and exaggerate the scale, either make it too big or too small, it all of a sudden becomes fun. And we've always had a throwback to jigsaw puzzles. They're always kind of, I think pretty much with everybody, they're always kind of in the back there when you were little, or everyone's always done a jigsaw puzzle. So we were looking for a particular thing to make. I have a really big printing background, so it was a great fit. And then the test tube packaging was kind of just sort of a fun way of packaging them. And it's also really efficient because it doesn't take a lot of space. You can put 20 of them in a little display, and it's less than a square foot. So people really, really that resonates with a lot of retailers and everybody just loves the size. It doesn't really, when you put it in your hand, I think there's almost a connection you get with it, and that doesn't sometimes translate when you look at a photo or a video.
Well, it's a combination of size, the package, the execution. When I first saw this, I thought this could be at every counter at every retail store in the world, right? Because
wow.
We hope.
Well, we'll get to that in just a minute because I think that's happening. So let's talk a little bit about that Saturday morning. Okay, so
right.
I get the package, and I had called my mentor, Steve Askin, which I've known since my early 20s. He was calling me on a Saturday, bugging me, and he was asking, when are you going to send me some ideas? And I was like, nah, I don't want it. He goes, when are you going to make me some money here? I've known you forever, and you've never sent me anything. And then I hung up, and there was your package. I opened it up, and I called you. I'm
Right.
like, what the heck did you just do? And
Yeah.
and you were making these basically, and you said you were making these in your room, right? I mean,
Yeah, in our apartment.
We
Yeah.
still are.
Yeah, we do a lot of it.
Yeah, we still
in our
are.
apartment.
And right now with the COVID-19, it's actually been helpful because that's the only place we can be right now is our apartment. But everything is here, yeah. And most people are surprised that everything we're still doing in our one-bedroom apartment.
well, I was surprised because everything was done so professional. I mean, very rarely do I see something made in someone's back room that has the printing, which is your background,
Right,
the
yeah.
quality of the puzzles, the printing, the packaging, the logo on the top of the package, to to the safety seal.
Yeah.
Does everybody see that? I mean, this looks as professional as you would find anywhere.
Thank you.
And
We really tried to engineer it in a way that we got. It was not like like a handmade product or a homemade product. Not that Etsy. There's nothing wrong with Etsy, but we really wanted to kind of distinguish ourselves and make it look more like a finished product.
Well, you sure did that. Because once I called you, I asked if I could send it to somebody that I knew, and you said yes. I didn't have all the details, and it was probably better I didn't. And so I called Steve Askin back, and I said, "Hey, I've got the idea." And he said, I told him about it, and he said to me, "I'm interested. What can you show me?" So I sent over a couple photographs, text over on the phone, and he saw it, and he was really intrigued, as much as I was intrigued. And the first thing out of his mouth was, "Well, what does he own?" And I said to Steve, "Who cares?" And he said to me, "Yeah, I think you're right. Who cares?" And so I want to talk a little bit about that, because I think people are a little surprised sometimes when they hear that. You know, we're always being bombarded that you have to own something, or intellectual property, or a business plan, or raise money, or this. And I mean, you're always hearing all that stuff, right? So, but the first thing you always hear is that you have to have a patent. And I'm a big believer in patents, but sometimes, who cares?
Right.
So Steve asked me, so he goes, "Well, what is he patented here?" And I go, "I don't know. I don't think anything, but it's really speed." And that's what I think I told you.
Right. Yeah. It was sell first, sell fast.
I said that the trick is finding the right company that's got good distribution that can help you. And I think I know some people that might be able to do that.
Right.
Not my world, not my skill set. And so I just handed you off to Steve Askin, and he's a character. I know he is. But he was fascinated with it, and he wouldn't let it go, would he?
No, he was amazing. And I just have to tell you too about the phone call, which is really funny. When you called me, we had sent out a sample to you, it was actually over between Christmas and New Year's, and it was really just a thank you, because I followed you forever, and from the very first, from One Simple Idea kind of thing. So I've been a big fan, and I've followed your stuff. So I didn't expect anything. So when you called our 800 number. I pick up the phone and I was like, "Hi, MicroPuzzles, can I help you?" And you're like, "Hi, is Michael there?" And I'm like, "Hi, Mike speaking." And you're like, "Hi, it's Steven." And I was like, "Hi, Steven, what can I do for you?" Because I didn't know who you were. And then you were like, "Oh, it's Stephen Key." And I was like, "What?" And so the one funny thing that I remember is I remember going like, "Oh my God, I am so excited." And you're kind of like, "Nothing's happened yet." And I was like, "No, you called me." And I was like, that made me so excited. You have no idea.
I think that was a little bit of validation that what we were doing was being noticed.
Yeah.
Because, I think one of the other things is the fast, but we're also trying to make it better quality than whatever else is showing up, out of China or whatever. Because we did see some other stuff at the New York Toy Fair. So we want to make sure that ours is better, that ours is branded, and that's why the cap has our logo on it, just to make sure that we're different than everybody else.
Well,
so.
who calls someone on a Saturday, right? I do.
Right. I totally laugh because we have a chat feature on the website, and I get emails all day long, but I don't get a lot of phone calls. So it was, for us, it was a real standout.
I was on a plane, and luckily I had Wi-Fi and texting, and he's like, Stephen Key just called me. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Well,
so it was a big...
and you picked up the phone on a Saturday. That's even more odd, right? I mean,
oh my gosh.
We pick it up at 2 a.m. sometime. Okay. Like, we haven't learned to shut things off. Yeah. And I think with like online sales, there's not an off day. It's not like you close at 5 p.m. You're all day long and all night long sometimes. So
I fall into that category too. It seems like I'm always on call, or I enjoy it so much. So, okay. Fast forward now. All right. You connect with Steve. He's helping you, but somehow you're at New York Toy Fair, and we'll show a picture there, and you're up and you have a booth. And how did that happen?
Well, we were blown away from the time. It was so funny that we'd started the product basically in June of 2018 is when we really started looking at it. And we've been through a couple of iterations. So what landed on your desk was definitely 2.0 from where we started. Rachel has a thing where it's like, it's better done than perfect. And what we do that a lot, where we will actually do it and then tweak it. And we can always but the big thing is to get momentum. So what happened is once the wheels kind of went in motion, Steve basically took us out for lunch. We went to a toy store, I think, because he just wanted to get an opinion and just see how we interacted with people. And
wait a minute. Okay, I love Steve. So he took you to a toy store and showed the product to what?
So to the owner, who it's in Santa Monica actually. It was Puzzle Zoo. Okay. And so we went to South Coast Plaza because he has a store there. And I had just coincidentally I had contacted him like 3 or 4 months before because I thought it was a good fit. So it was kind of nice because when we met, he remembered me, which was great. So it was kind of nice because it was sort of like, it was a great meeting because it went well. And then after that, we went to a distributor, and basically we had a distribution deal for basically mass market, larger clients within 7 days, which was
pretty fast.
Crazy for us. So,
yeah, Steve knows everybody, doesn't he?
He does. It's really insane. He's always like, I got a guy that'll, it's really fun. So
he knows more people.
For us, it was nice too because there's a couple of segments to the business we do, and so mass market was one of the things that we was kind of out there, but we didn't really have the resources or the capabilities to fulfill a giant order, and to actually have those pieces fall in place was amazing. And then we can still concentrate on like online sales and personalization and all the other different things that we're doing. Okay.
So what did the person say at the retail? What did he say when he saw it? What was his comment?
They were excited about it. I think when you put it in your hand, and if you haven't seen it before, you're like, whoa, it's really cool. So it was kind of, and what I love about it is you don't really have to explain a lot to it. That the elevator pitch is really quick because most people will connect with a jigsaw puzzle. They've done it before, kind of thing. And it is really, and we really try to do. One of the things we learned is that great art really helps, and so. And the fun thing about a puzzle is it's the same process, the exact same product, but we can change the photo and it identifies with, it'll resonate with somebody. One puzzle will resonate with somebody that maybe won't resonate with another. It's real easy to kind of get a broad appeal to it,
So tell me this. So you hook up with them, they see it. Next thing you know, you're in New York. People are watching. Was that a pretty cool feeling when people were going by?
Oh my God, amazing. So we had looked at going into the New York Toy Fair like by ourselves, which would have been just an insane move. It's super expensive. It's a big deal to get to the show. And we had signed a deal January 20th actually, and the show was February, like the end of February, or beginning of February. So it was in February somewhere. But within weeks, the distributor was like, oh, we're going to just take a space in our booth and we're going to, give you a section. So it was just surreal to walk in and see that, in front of everyone. It was really amazing. And for us, we were on cloud 9 the whole day, like the whole time.
Well, let's talk about what's happening today, because you're reading in all the papers that puzzles are selling out. My wife is downstairs making puzzles. And they really frustrate me, by the way. I don't know why they do.
I'm with you.
She has these really complicated ones, and I'll come in for a minute and try to look at it, and I just go, ugh. It takes a certain personality and some patience, doesn't it, to do it? And apparently I don't have either one of those. So,
right.
So what's happening now?
So one of the things with right now the world's under lockdown, and what we did is we basically poured all our energy into the website. Over the course of the year, we had taken, we use Shopify as our e-commerce platform, and we're fortunate enough to be in LA, and they actually have a whole campus where every couple of weeks they'll do like a growth lab, and they'll bring in an expert, and for 2.5 hours you can sit down and talk to somebody about different strategies. So we've taken all those, but we really hadn't had time to kind of implement. So with the COVID-19 thing and the lockdown, we really just took all our time and energy and poured it into the website. April 1st is really so our online sales, which I always classified as onesie twosies off the website. Like I literally used to say that. And then now it's insane because our web sales are really significant. And it started, we just kind of played, we just sort of tried to figure out what kind of worked, and we implemented and cleaned it up, and we kind of did that 2.0, 3.0 version. The one fun thing for us is we did April 1st was kind of the turning point. I still have it on a whiteboard in the living room. There's March 31st, we did a couple $100 in sales, and we were beside ourselves. We're like, oh my God, this is amazing, And then April 1st, we were on the website, and we're like, oh gosh, it's April Fool's Day. We should do something fun. So we did a spinning wheel kind of promotion for one day on the website, and we put funny prizes in. And so we had 25% off, which was the real deal. That's what you got, no matter what you spend. But spun. But we had funny things on it, a random bag of puzzle pieces, or what was your DMV photo on a puzzle. And it was just, I think that kind of got people excited about it. And then since then, our sales, the trajectory of sales, and also just the visits to the website have been insane. Yeah, it's really been. I've never seen anything like it.
And so the media's calling now, isn't it?
Yeah, which was crazy, totally crazy.
Well, it didn't just happen either, because he sent it to the TV station. He's we were just hey, we love watching you. And so the product seeding is, and for us, it's lucky because they're not expensive for us to send. Where I know if somebody had, an expensive $500 product, they're not going to send them out. But for us, it only costs us a few dollars. We're paying more in probably postage, but to send it out, and he just sent a package out to.
Yeah, just because we had watched him in the morning all the time, like morning show in the morning while we're making puzzles and packaging and fulfilling, and so we just sent a note, just like, hey, we really appreciate your coverage, kind of thing, and they had called. So yeah, we're going to be on KTLA, which is super exciting for us.
I love this product. I loved it the day I saw it. All right, and it just puts a smile on my face. So thank you very much for sharing your story. I think it's just uplifting.
Yeah. Thanks, Stephen. We appreciate it.
Such a simple thing that just is fun, right? And you're right. There's something about it. The size is really kind of a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So congratulations, both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.